Welcome back to a new video. So in this workout, this was the first one that I did back in Ohio. I misspoke in the last video where I said I didn't train the day of the flight. I meant to say I didn't train the day before the flight. On Sunday is when I took a day off, and then Monday, this past Monday is when I flew back, and it was a morning flight. It was a little bit delayed, but I was able to get home about like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I had enough time to recuperate and be motivated and eat some food stuff and get ready for the gym. But I did this the same day of the flight, and surprisingly, when I went to the gym, I actually was feeling pretty good. Not entirely great, but a bit sore. And I'm experiencing, I don't think I mentioned this in the last couple of videos, but my low back hasn't been in pain. And I've had this experience before, and it's usually from overworking, but it's like when I start to train, my low back gets pumped, and it's like if the equivalent feeling is if you just do a bunch of like bicep curls and you're just going Rich Piana on your arms, getting that same kind of pump, but it's in your lower back and it's uncomfortably pumped. And it's, I think, just from the way I'm built, but it's probably also a reason why I very rarely, or I actually have never had a lower back injury. I've had some mid and upper back strains, but never anything in my low back. And it's probably because I have a ton of muscle down there. My erectors just get pumped from doing literally anything. But I was going through that a little bit in this workout, but thankfully the training session went really well. I started out with the muscle snatches like normal. They were feeling okay. Nothing, radically good or bad about them. They're just 70 kilos like I have been doing. I then went on to do some snatch doubles. I had ran a miss with 110, but that was more technical. It's one of those misses where I did it, and it's because I'm really trying to focus on punching under. Sometimes I just leave the bar out in front, even though I feel like I punch under pretty well. I just don't get it back far enough. And it could also have been from the low back pump that was happening. But I felt pretty good about that, so I stayed at that 110. And then after I made that second attempt at the 110 double, I jumped up to 121, just because I had done the 120 for a double before, so why not add a kilo to it. And I was able to get that. It took a bit long to do the double, so I don't know if it's truly a double, but it is what it is. I was happy to be able to do it and to successfully do the reps, even though the second rep was a bit sneaky. It is what it is. I was really happy with how the first rep looked, just kind of as lockout. Like it looked like I was shifting over to the left side a little bit, but like it wasn't all pressy and unstable, I suppose. It was as stable as it's going to get with heavier weights. Then went on to clean jerks and took some big jumps with these because my roommates went with me to the gym, and the bathroom at the gym currently is out of commission, so I was trying to be as expeditious as possible at this point. It took, it's hard to work up to these weights and take time in between the lifts, because if you do a bunch of snatch work and then you go right into clean jerks without any break in between, you're going to have it's going to be a detriment to the clean jerk work, just because you're still going to be tired from doing the snatch, especially if it's a session like today where I went pretty heavy and got was doing doubles and stuff. But I was able to rest between a little bit and started to work on clean front squat jerk, and they actually went really well. So I was able to get up to 140. It was definitely a difficult rep, but I was considering working up quickly, taking that 20 kilo jump from 120 to 140, and the fact that 140 is a pretty difficult weight for me to be doing complexes with. I was definitely happy to be able to get that. After I did that, I wanted to work up some back squats. Took big jumps for obvious reasons, just trying to get the workout done. And just because they're squats and I'm kind of used to taking those 70, 120, 170 jumps. I went to 200 after the 170, and I felt like it moved fine, but it was kind of at this point that like my low back was really pumped. And one of the things that helps to mitigate this problem is just laying on your stomach and just taking time to not move and kind of let that feeling dissipate. And I did that at the very end because my back was uncomfortably pumped after I did the jerks that you'll see after the back squats. The jerks went really well, especially considering I started at 120 and went to 140, and the fact that I was able to do doubles with both of those, and relatively comfortably so. Like, it definitely wasn't the most stable lockout and it was a bit pressy, but just I was happy to be able to get them locked out in some fashion above my head, so it gives me room to grow in that regard. But after doing the jerks, I kind of laid on my stomach for a little bit to let my back kind of just chill out. It's weird because like when I'm saying it, it's like, well, it sounds like it's injured, but it really isn't. It's like if you just did a bunch of bicep curls and like it just got so pumped that it hurt, like you would just stop doing the movement and then let it kind of dissipate, and then you're good. And like by the time I was walking out, like my back was fine. It wasn't in that pumped state, but man, like when you're kind of working quick, it definitely gets in that. And so it allowed me to make some adjustments. I think the next workout from this, I'm confusing my days, but I did a session after this. No, I did the next session at the gym, and then I did one at home where I was able to get the blocks out because it was actually pretty warm. I almost trained out in my shed on Tuesday, but I kind of just forgot how warm it was. Strangely, for January, it was in the 60s, which is crazy warm. Down in Florida, it was like in the mid 80s, which felt extremely hot. And you know, mid 80s is pretty hot, especially with the humidity, but when you just experience negative temperatures and then you go to that, it certainly has a different feel to it. But overall, real happy with the workout. You know, it's continuing to push things up, and hopefully we'll be able to spend more time at the gym when I do go, you know, in the next session to get more of the accessory work and stuff like that done. But you know, considering the productivity of the workout that I was able to get in, quite happy with all that. But that being said, I'll talk to you on the next one, and have a great day. Peace.